I wrote it after my grandfather. I used to hang out with him a lot when I was young, and he was real hard of hearing from working at GM for like 30-some years. So you get about half a mile away from his house, and you could just hear the radio just cranked up. And he was always playing guys like Waylon Jennings and Johnny Cash. And so even at a young age, like, I had a real fond appreciation for them guys and the stories they told. And so then when I got started doing this thing, I got thinking about some of the stuff I'd been through in the military and past, relationships and stuff. And I thought, man, I know what that's like. Like, I've been through some of that shit myself. So that's kind of where it came from, and I came up with that. I do listen to the outlaw man. Lord, how I love those country songs. They sang about women, cocaine blues, how to live your life all wrong. And I follow the steps of the outlaw ways, writing songs about my struggles and stripes. Learn a lot about living, heartache and pain, what it's like to almost lose your life. Yeah, I know what it's like to be cheated on. I know what it's like to be too far gone. Don't tell me if it's wrong or if it's right, 'cause I know what it's like. Try to live my life just how they said. Lord, how those songs hit home. They spun a tail like a spider on a web. Man, it hit me deep in my soul. Now, I've had some run-ins with the law, my friends. Fist fought more times than a few. Stood in front of a man with a gun in his hand. Said my prayers in case I didn't make it through. Yeah, I know what it's like to be cheated on. And I know what it's like to be too far gone. Don't tell me if it's wrong or if it's right, 'cause I know what's like. Yes, I'm lonesome, ornery man. I relate to a boy named Sue. Got a good-hearted woman waiting at home. Don't feel with some prison blues. Yeah, I know what it's like to be hated on. And I know what it's like to be fed up and done. Don't tell me if it's wrong or if it's right, 'cause I know what's like. Yes, I know what's like.
All right, everybody, welcome back to McBastard Studio. I'm Brad Banyas. You're listening to the SaltyMF Goat. Today is one of our Salty's Live Music edition. We're really excited to have Zach Haines here, country music singer, local from Jefferson, Georgia. Super good dude. He just cut some amazing tunes before this, which you'll really enjoy after. But everybody, welcome Zach Haines to the show.
Hey, how you doing, man?
Good, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I love sitting here, dude, hearing you sing. I know you're like, you want me to go again? I'm like, yeah, let's do it again. Play another one. Play another one.
Hey, I love it, man. It's awesome being able to come and do something like this. So.
Yeah, I'm really glad we connected. You've got, we were talking a little bit before. You've got a pretty interesting story about, your granddad and how you kind of fell in love with music. And then I know you were in the military for a while.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
So, tell the audience a little bit about you. And
well, I got my first guitar when I was 10. My grandma bought it for my birthday, and it was like a little Washburn, just a little acoustic guitar.
Yeah.
And back then, like, I didn't really know any like whole songs or nothing, and I was really into like Nirvana and Green Day and stuff like that. So I just learned the intros because I thought that was the coolest part.
Yeah.
So I knew like 100 intros. And then after that, they're like, where's the rest? I'm like, no, now this one, I'm just like, but I always had a guitar with me and just messed around. And like my family's really musical. My great uncles, they had a band in like the 60s that they'd started. And that was like all the brothers were like the members. And they were called the Orbits. And like they went and won Battle of Bands one time and stuff. And so we all grew up just like sitting around the bonfires and stuff, just like playing music and watching, the different generations play. And it was just kind of, you almost had to get in it, So then, like I played with my uncle and my cousins and stuff like that, and just like little garage bands. We'd mess around and drink beer and stuff like that.
That's awesome.
And I went to the Army, and I took my guitar with me. So I had it in there, and I got deployed to Iraq. I got over there and I ended up buying a guitar from a guy that was leaving for $50. And then my parents surprised me and they kind of band together and they sent over like a little cheap electric guitar with an amp and stuff. And like shipping, when you're shipping over there, it's like, I'm sure it was ridiculous.
Oh yeah, more than the guitar that they paid.
Yeah,
probably.
But so even over in Iraq, like I had music,
That's awesome.
And so after I got wounded in Iraq, I got hurt and got brought back and got medically retired out. They started wanting me to write like diaries and stuff, like just I don't know, it just felt weird.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I'm not doing that. Like, I'm not a 12-year-old girl. Like, I'm not keeping a diary. And they're like, well, you can call it a journal. I'm like, we both know what it is.
Yeah.
So then that's when I got writing like songs and stuff, and I put it in like kind of song form, and put words to it, and it just felt more comfortable. And so then I wrote some songs and stuff like that, and just like, man, can I do this? And it's kind of, kept getting pushed off and stuff with family stuff and, my son going to school. And well, then in 2013, our daughter passed away.
Oh, shit.
And but so after that, I was like, I have to do something because I'm going to lose my mind, So like I remembered the whole songwriting thing, and like so I was like, all right, I'll give this a shot again. And I ended up writing this song called Burns, and it's kind of like tells the story of me coming home and like the aftermath of that, and me seeing my wife like the way she was and stuff, and and just kind of hurting, and me not really knowing what to do other than just being there for her, So I wrote this song, and I remember she was at work, and because it was like a few months later, and she was back at work, and I said, I wrote this song, like I want you to listen to it. So she called me and she was like, you asshole. And she's crying, whatever. And she's like, why would you send that to me at work? And I was like, is it good? She's like, yes, it's great. And I was like, okay. I'm like, I didn't know if it'd be any good or not. I thought maybe you'd shut it off halfway through. And she was like, yeah, from now on, give me a heads up. And so I was like, I think maybe my wife's, she's partial. So like, I was like, but I'll send it to a couple other people and see what they think. And they were like, dude, this is really good for real. And so that kind of started, I put all these songs together and had like my first album, and it was like every song that I'd ever written. Like I didn't have a lot to choose from. Yeah. So I wasn't playing shows out or nothing. It was just like I was kind of a living room player. Yeah. And I ended up talking to a guy, the guy's name's Corey Smith. I don't know if you know him or not. He's a local musician in Jefferson. And I ended up talking to him, and I'm like, man, I got like these songs and stuff, but I don't know what to do with it. And he's like, man, go up to Lee Davis in Maysville. Go up there, and he has a studio. Like, he'll work with you and kind of, show you the ropes or whatever. So I went in there, and like, I didn't know how to play to like a click. Like, I was off time. Like, I didn't know anything about anything. And he's like, well, just take these songs home, like practice this. He's like, get a metronome, practice at this tempo for this song and this one and that. He's like, then come back. So we did that for a while, and then just kept like kind of building this album up. And like I said, I did it ass backwards. Like I wasn't playing shows. Like no one even knew I was like a singer-songwriter. Yeah. So then all of a sudden it was like I have this album, I put out, and then I was like, all right, well, I think I'm gonna start playing shows now. And like I ordered like 1,000 CDs off CD Baby, and like I still have like 5 of them left, because like no one has, no one really does CDs anymore. So that's how I like got started or whatever. And then once I started playing shows and stuff, and I got more comfortable, and I was like, okay, and then I got more comfortable with my songwriting stuff and just do, so it was like, that's kind of how it all started.
That's awesome. That's a great story, man. I'm sorry to hear about your daughter. That's a tough thing.
Yeah, it was a
it was a rough one, man.
Yeah, it's a tough thing. I grew up with a brother and sister that passed. It's impactful on everybody. You know.
Yeah,
So
that's what my son. He was he was 07. That was like, so he was like 6.
yeah.
So he like remembers everything, you know.
Yeah.
But like, it was just kind of weird, like the way it all went down, and he didn't really understand. You know, he's like, "What? I don't," you know. And we tried to just explain it the best he could without just crushing the kids. Yeah, you know,
it never goes away. Yeah,
Yeah.
It never goes away.
Yeah.
It doesn't. So God bless you guys.
No, thanks, man.
I mean, you know, your personality as people, you know, they see you singing and talking here, but like you just got like one of those personalities, man, that like you walk in and you feel like, I feel like I've known this guy, you know, my whole life. So
Man, I feel like life's humbled me so much that like I don't have time anymore for drama or arrogance, or it's like when I was younger, I was real bad with it. You know, I was a jock, I guess you'd say, or whatever, and kind of had this chip on my shoulder and this, you know, this walk, this swag or whatever, like, you know who I am.
Do you know who I am?
Yeah, you know, like kind of a D-bag,
Yeah.
you know.
Pretty big deal.
Yeah, yeah, I'm a big deal. But, and then, you know, it's like, oh, life's kind of tough sometimes. Like, you're not as great as you think you are.
Yeah.
You know, and I was like, you know what, I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be like that.
Age does it to you.
Yeah, I think so. And especially when you see your son kind of start to mimic some of the stuff that I'm like, no, don't be like that. Don't be like me.
Yeah.
Do as I say, not as I do, dude.
That's tough. They're watching too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely.
Your kids are watching. You may think they're not even that one that you think is totally opposite of you is watching.
Yeah, and it's like, I'm like, all right, we got to make a change here. And I just like meeting people and like getting along, you know. I mean, some people are hard to get along with, but I'm like, that's their problem, not mine. I'm just going to be cool. You know?
And you learn to avoid them, you know, or quickly pull out and move on.
Yeah,
you know?
You just learn how to kind of deal with it, and just carry on.
So man, I love your songwriting and lyrics and stuff, because it's just, I mean, you can tell it's from your heart. It's you, it's stories. You know, you were talking about your granddad used to play music really loud because he had hard hearing.
Yeah, he was real hard hearing from working for GM for 30-something years, and I was like 16, and I used to go over there and hang out all the time after school, and you'd get like half a mile from his house, and he'd have his garage radio on. It was just like cranked up. Like, I don't know how the windows didn't like blow out, but and he was always playing guys like Waylon Jennings, Johnny Cash, and all the greats. So, like, you know, I was 16 and, like, I was just like, man, these guys are awesome.
Yeah.
You know, they're talking about stuff that I guess not really taboo, but, you know, like talking about cocaine and stuff.
But real life.
Yeah. You know, I'm like, dang,
real life.
That's a wild ride. You know, can't imagine that. Then as I got older and stuff, and, like, some of the stuff I'd went through, and, you know, when I started writing songs, I'm like, I know what that's like.
Yeah.
You know, and that's when I wrote the song, that first song I played, I know what it's like. That's where that came from. Was just kind of relating to them through my experience and being like, you know, definitely wasn't a wild life like they had. Yeah. But, you know, I've had some things.
Yeah. I mean, I'd say you've lived a life, man. We all have. It's funny, like people, some people, you talk to people and, you know, you hear their story and they think like they have a boring life, and the person listening is like, holy shit, that's my life's boring as shit compared to that. You know, I mean, it's funny perspective.
Right. It really is, man. Yeah.
You don't look at like you don't look at, you think, oh, because a lot of things are mundane. You know, you go to work, everybody does that, but it's awesome. Like, we wanted to do this podcast for this reason, like, because storytelling is almost like a dying thing. Like, people don't sit around and just, well, hey, what happened? How'd that happen? What like you don't. Those stories aren't passed down because we're so 8 seconds into a TikTok video or some shit like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you know? It is. Or people are just kind of afraid to tell things because someone might think bad about them or something. You know, it's like, my wife gets on me because I'm kind of an open book with stuff. And I'll meet someone, and if I jive with them, like, if I feel like I've known them I'll start telling my wife's like, what are you doing? We've known these people for an hour. Why are you telling them? Like, they're cool.
Everyone hates when I go out. My wife calls me the mayor. We just got back from the Keys talking about cocaine. The square groupers are floating down there on the off Key West. But, she's like, Jesus, don't talk to these people. You don't. But I'm in there talking to everyone. We sat down at the bar, and I got a beer and whatever, and my brother-in-law always give me shit because – so the guy, bartender's from Philly, we hit it off. It's Chris, down there, baby. You did a good job. So we're just drinking whatever, and he walks by and he goes, "Hey, Brad, what do you want?" Whatever. And the guy's like, "Dude, you've been here 10 seconds. This guy knows you by name."
Yeah.
I was like, "Yeah, he's from Philly, man. He's a good dude." So,
See, I like that too, man. I like meeting people and just connecting and jiving.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
She's like, even with our friends and stuff, she's like, TMI.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, there's no such thing.
Yeah,
We're
there
all
is
cool
no
here.
such thing. And I've got a bad habit of just, I'll drop a cuss word every other, and it's just kind of not to be like rude or lewd or whatever.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like, I'm just kind of like, fuck
Yeah.
it. It is what it is,
Right.
and be like, oh,
Yeah. It's hard for me, like, playing shows because a lot of times you're playing the bar scene and that's acceptable. You can say kind of whatever you want. Then there's times when I'm like getting ready to sing something and I'm like, oh, there's kids.
Yeah.
Like, what can I say instead?
Church,
I kind of panic.
no,
Yeah.
don't sing that song in church.
Right. Yeah.
I've been bit by a snake, ain't had a fair shake. Had to climb the walls when I was told I'd fall. My name is a curse for those well versed in damning a man doing the best he can. But now I'm swinging for the fence, knocking out everything I'm up against. Burn hot on troll flame. Come on, chain. A steep with no rain. They're the ones to blame. I've been counted out, forgotten about, left in dust. Now it's hard to trust. Kicked to the curb. All lessons were learned. Now it's on me to make them see that I'm swinging for the fence, knocking out everything I'm up against. I burn hot on control flame. Come on, chain, Steve with no rain. They're the ones to blame. Keep my name out of your mouth unless you wanna praise me. Keep my name out of your mouth unless you wanna praise me. Because I'm swinging for the fence, knocking out everything I'm up against. I burn hot on control flame. Come on, chain, Steve with no rain. I'm on chain, you remember my name. They're the ones to blame. Had it almost at the end.
Yeah, my wife would be like, is he going to say it? Is he gonna, oh, don't do it.
Yeah. I think it's so I recently I'm not an Apple guy. I hate Apple. I hate all this stuff. But I use Google Music, and I've been using Apple. And there was a song, I forget which it was, but it had some great like cuss words in it, and like they literally changed like the song.
Yeah.
And I was like, what?
Yeah.
I'm like, this is not even the real song,
Yeah,
man. They're
it takes
changing
away
the
from
words
it,
in
yeah.
it, man. What it that's
Takes it takes away from it, man.
So-
It's like your nostalgia or whatever. You're like, then you hear that and you're like, it's not even the same.
Yeah,
Like, don't even play it.
Yeah, it's whatever. Swifties.
Right.
Let's go there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do
Yeah.
it. I'm gonna do a Zen insert for Chuck Schumie in a second. But yeah, man. So do you find what comes easiest to you? I mean, is the lyric side pretty easy for you? I mean, is it hard? Like some people can just sit down. Like
Yeah.
the Beatles wrote like their first
Yeah.
album in like an hour.
Yeah, I'm definitely not like that.
Yeah.
I have to kind of feel an emotion, whether it be, whatever emotion, happy, sad, whatever. Like I have to feel something to kind of get the mojo going on the writing process. And like, I've tried to sit down and force myself to like write, because they're like, practice makes perfect. You just got to keep, and then I sit there and I'm like, I got nothing. Like I'm not feeling, like I have nothing.
Yeah. Does it like, I know that like Eminem was famous for that. He always had a book and he'd wake up in the middle of the night and like write shit
Well, that's
down.
why I used to think like songwriting was, I mean, like there's like times where I'll hear something and I'm like, ooh, I like that. And I'll put it in my notes in my phone or something, and save it for later. But like I have probably hundreds of half-written songs where I was feeling a certain way and got halfway into it and just kind of lost it, It's just sitting there, just waiting for that feeling to come back.
Dude, I'd be the worst because I have AD. I'd be like, I remember something just like Alex saying before. Yeah, you need to do salty broads, and like, oh yeah, that's a good idea. And like in 10 minutes, I'll totally forget like what
Right.
So if I don't do that, my ADD kicks in. But
Oh, yeah.
Does your boy like music? Is he trying to play it, or does he just love it? Or
When he was younger, he took drum lessons for a while and stuff, and he keeps talking about how he wants to get back and kind of dive in. He's like, I think it'd be cool to play a show with you one day. And I'm like, dude, that's what my plan was, like all along, But he's really good at wrestling and stuff. So he got into sports and girls and, cars.
Don't blame him. Good job, dude. You got good priorities.
Yeah. Well, that's, like my wife says, like, he's his father's son.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'll take the blame for that.
Yeah.
I guess.
He's like 17 or something.
Yeah, he's 17.
Yeah. So my 18-year-old like that too.
But he has like a wide range of music that he likes.
Yeah.
Like he'll play some stuff for me sometimes. And I'm like, how the hell did you find this?
Yeah.
He's like, Dad, this is a cool song. I'm like, I know it's a cool song, but I didn't think you'd like it. So, but he really gets into music, and all his buddies they like come to the shows and stuff, and kind of having that live music, So
That's
it's
awesome.
It's fun. Like whole group of like teenage boys come in, and see, and I'm like, hey, I know you guys.
Yeah.
So it's cool.
It's pretty cool. It's really cool. I see because being a dad, like everybody thinks of you as a dad.
Yeah.
Right. So like when we started all this stuff, like my kids' friends are like, dude, what the hell is your dad doing? Like, so what is this? What's he doing? It's cool because they get to see like you're a person.
Right.
I mean, you're just like them, except we're older. Right. We would have been doing the same thing.
Sometimes it's kind of a double-edged sword because sometimes, they come up and they're like, where are we getting drunk? And it's like, I'm a father. What are you talking? No, I'm just kidding. They don't say that. But you're kind
of thinking it.
Yeah. But it's like, that's a very poor example of that. But it's like that kind of stuff. I'm like I'm a dad. Like I can't do that. Like I can't. I don't know. I don't even know what to say now. But
yeah, it's cool. It's all that way. The hardest thing I see, like when you get older, like, is you still like I'm 18 in my heart. Yeah. Like I still I'd still be going out doing stupid shit and whatever. You're 18, and it's hard because as you get older and you got a lot of responsibility. You gotta sometimes not be an immature asshole, but that immature asshole just wants to come out. It's just sitting in there. Right. Honey, sorry. Yeah. I'm 18.
Yeah, it does. While I was sitting there, like we were eating breakfast the other morning, and like all my son's buddies were there, and we got talking and just kind of like I felt like I was just sitting with my buddies and she was like, "Are you 12? Are you 12? Who's the adult here?" And I'm like, "We're at home, we're trying to eat. Like we're just go in the other room. We're having fun."
It's universal. Women are universal.
Yeah.
So
oh yeah. And she'll be like, I can't even trust you to be their chaperone.
I'm definitely don't. That's why the shirt. So this thing, most likely you need adult suit. So my sister-in-law there, Lori, got this for me, so I really appreciate that. But she made these for it, and when they pulled it out, we had 20-something people at the beach last week, and everyone had to pick like who it was. Like she knew who the shirts were, but everyone had to like just go in and grab one and go, oh shit! Oh, and everyone's like, oh, that's Brad's shirt.
Yeah, that's his. Might as well have his name on it.
So that's awesome. So you were talking about like most of the things you're doing. Has it been kind of local to Georgia, or have you traveled? Like, is there like an ideal venue? I'm gonna ask this question: is there an ideal venue like you want to play at?
That I want to play at? Yeah. Like, I mean, probably Billy Bob's out in Texas. Yeah, big honky tonk out there is like probably like the dream. Yeah. That, I mean, to me,
Billy Bob's, we're calling you out.
Yeah, like to me that would be awesome to get the band out there, and like a lot of my listeners and followers and stuff are in Texas. Yeah. So it's like I'm in the planning phase of like next year, like how could I make that happen? Do a little run out there and just test the waters to see if we really do fit in out there and stuff.
Why is that just from like Spotify and stuff? And
Yeah, like Pandora, like I'll get analytics or whatever,
Yeah.
On Facebook, like they'll tell me, the areas and stuff. And Texas is real huge on my music and stuff.
That's awesome.
For some crazy reason.
Kudos to Texas, baby.
Yeah. Which that's where I kind of came of age. Like I was 19 when I joined the Army and I got stationed out in Texas.
Oh, okay.
So like I do have a special little place in my heart for Texas, just because there's a lot of memories out there. And my son was born in Texas, and so yeah, I mean
That's awesome.
But we play mostly around Georgia. Like we get up in Tennessee and been over in South Carolina and stuff like that. So, but mostly Georgia.
So your band, when you just curious, like when you're like I told you before that Hush Money on, all those guys are like, two of them are brothers.
Yeah.
And they've like known the other two, like they like grew up together. So like your band, do you guys have a tight unity, or was it kind of a bunch of people came together and just?
It was kind of crazy how well we connected and meshed, and everyone's like kind of at a certain point in life where like the bullshit's out the window, Like my guitar player is 60 years old.
Oh, that's
but he
awesome.
shreds. Like he's awesome. And my bass player, I think
Right behind you, brother.
Yeah, I think he's in his 50s and like cool down to earth dude. Like just plays the bass like crazy.
Yeah.
And then my drummer, he's a little bit younger than me. He's like 35 or something, but he's actually a Baptist like preacher or whatever they call them. I don't know, the preacher minister. I don't know. Anyways, but so it's like all different kind of walks of life, and like
That's cool.
and like when we first got together, I'm like, we look like a bunch of misfits, like none of us look the same at all. Like we're just kind of, and then we started playing it. I was like, oh, these dudes are good, man.
Yeah.
Like this is gonna be fun. And then like it just like we went to Augusta and played an overnight show. It was like our first one, and we all rode down together. So I was like, we're getting a little taste of like how it'll be on the road with each other, and it was fun, man. Like we went and had a good time. Like ate dinner before the show, and and it was like everyone was ready after the show to go back to their hotel and just chill.
Yeah.
Like I was like, oh man, Jimmy's gonna be out at 3 a.m. I'm gonna have to go bail him out. Like I knew nothing like that was gonna happen.
Yeah.
So it's like peace of mind almost. Like
That's awesome.
We're all out of that wild stage, I guess. So.
Yeah, it's Cody Matlock. He was on. He's a kind of R&B guy here. Plays down at Blind Willie's. He's a good guy. When he came in, and I just cut my beard, or they cut my beard. I didn't want it to be that cut, but it was pretty long. And he walks in, and he's sitting there, and he goes, "You four dudes are the weirdest group of people." And my kid was here too, and he's tall, whatever, young. He's actually a good-looking kid, younger. But he's looking at us, he goes, y'all are the biggest dweebs I've ever seen. And it was hilarious. He was a good guy. He was cutting back and forth, and I was like, yeah, we're kind of an interesting crew,
Right.
So
That's
I think
how I feel.
sometimes that works,
I think so too, man. It's like, and everyone has their different personality, and it just, it don't overpower. There's not two button heads or, but it's, except for the older guys, they're kind of grumpy old men.
Yeah,
They'll kind of get at each other and say,
That's
hey, let's separate you two. Come on,
Hey,
same team.
gonna get that applesauce out here in a second. Chill out, bro. Chill out.
But
Yeah,
no, that's cool, man.
That's awesome, man. Well, when I heard you, it's funny because we've actually kind of crossed paths indirectly for a while, because I think Nick Carlson, you knew Nick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Nick had mentioned you a while back, and like I told you, my ADD, like if I don't write it down, it's gone.
Yeah.
And then when we had Chris on, Cathers, he said, hey, I got a really good country singer. I know you're going to love this guy. And then open our meeting, Baker. I was like, well, shit, this is the third time. I can remember 3 times.
Yeah.
Let's get him on, man.
Third time's a charm, man.
He's good,
That makes me feel good, man, that, that people are pushing that. Because, this business, it's weird, man. Like, sometimes you feel high. After this, I'll be like, okay,
I'm going, man.
Like, we're skyrocketing here. And then you hit kind of a lull, and you're like, oh, no one likes me, I guess.
Yeah.
Just kind of, it's like that bit, like, it's just weird.
Yeah, it's, you and I talked a little bit, like, we just kind of got into this Salty's live music. It's maybe been 90 days.
Mm-hmm.
It hasn't been a long time, but it was something that we really wanted to do and highlight musicians, good musicians like yourself. And every musician I've talked to, like, the people we have in here, like yourself, like, you're like, holy shit, these guys are amazing. And you're like, what's the deal?
Yeah.
And they're like, well, everybody's looking for the new kind of pop hit artist, and like you have musicians that like really are musicians, and they're writing their own songs, playing their own songs.
Right.
And to me, as an outsider, because I'm not a musician, but I love music, and I've always loved music, all kinds of music, country, rock, punk, you name it, I like it. Not Swifty stuff, but but you know, so I feel like I have a good ear for it, you know. But it's just like everyone I hear that I think, wow, like if these guys got one shot, like if they got one big arena or one big, you know, viral TikTok, which I hate all this shit where you got to be on TikTok all the time. But you know, I think life's like that though. Even just you know, we have other businesses and like. Some years you're like, oh man, that decade was awesome. Like, oh, that and this decade sucks so far. You know, it's just
the ups and downs,
the name of the game.
Yeah, and it does. It feels like a roller coaster sometimes, but like I've kind of come to terms like I may never be like mainstream. You know, like if you want to call mainstream, whatever. You know, it's like there's different levels to it for sure, and like you kind of have to get comfortable with where you're at and just be like, okay, if this is where I'm going to be at, I'm going to do the best job I could do here. You know, and I'm going to have local people, like, you know, I want everyone to know my name or whatever, you know? And it just, I don't know. Like, trying to, you know, a lot of people say, man, you should go to Nashville. And it's like, yeah, but you don't realize the game of that, you know? I've had conversations with places up in Nashville before, and it's like, how tall are you? How much do you weigh? Are you, you know, partially your beard? Would you be interested in shaving it?
Don't do it.
And I'm like, what, are we going to talk about my music? Or you just want to know if I'm cute enough, like to market me, you know?
Hey, my wife thinks I'm cute, asshole.
That's all
that matters.
But yeah, man, it's just weird. Like you have to block out all that kind of noise, you know?
Yeah, I think also, I mean, it's always interesting because we had Kels on, who's like a jazz singer. She's awesome. And you know, I always say, you know, what would you be doing what would you be doing if you weren't famous? Well, I'd be singing. And I think if you have that kind of I'm gonna do it anyways.
Yeah, you definitely have to have the love for it. Yeah.
If you like it, great. If you don't,
and that's the guy I can kind of consider my mentor, Lee Davis. I'll have conversations with him all the time because I'm like, man, I feel like I'm spinning my wheels. And he's like, would you rather be doing this or digging ditches? I'm like, good point. Yeah,
I've dug ditches, not fun.
Yeah, I was saying, and I'm like, that's true. Yeah,
Pour some concrete in 108 degree weather.
Right?
Not that fun.
Sometimes, man. Sometimes I feel like very fortunate that, you know, I guess trained myself to be able to play guitar and to do something and that I can do like that. You know, make a living at it, and I don't have to like break my back no more. You know.
That's awesome, man. You know, with the Hank Williams, what make them laugh or make them cry, right?
Yeah, that's definitely true.
I mean, it's true, and I think though that I think if people can, that's why I personally think a lot of days now people don't care about lyrics that much, but you know, does your voice sound good or whatever? But like, music is a form of storytelling, man. You know, and if you can tell that story and those feelings come out, I think, you know, and you did that in your songs. Like to me, when I listen to music, I want to get something out. Like, you know, like cause it's old school Sex Pistols or something. I still listen to crazy shit like that. Dead Kennedy's and the lyrics aren't very good, but I mean, I think you've got that great storytelling.
I appreciate that
approach, man.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
I love it because I mean, hey, you know, we're all in this thing called life together, and I don't know if the lizard people are going to show up, but if they are, show up and show out, fuckers. I mean, get here and do it. Let's go. I mean, I don't think they're coming, but if they do come, let's get it over with.
Yeah.
You know, we're all in this thing together, man.
Yeah,
and everybody bleeds. Everybody's sad. Everybody's happy. I mean, people forget the unity of as humankind, like what we have.
Right. Yeah. Definitely. It is, man. It's like the people that are like that. Like I don't want them around. Like, you know, I want everyone to win. Yeah. I mean, like if someone's doing something and they're trying their ass off, like I'm rooting for you. Yeah. Like I don't care if it's another musician. Like I don't feel that, you know, like, oh, that's my competition. Yeah. Like, no, man, I want you to eat. I want to eat. Yeah. Like, you know, I want everyone that's doing something and trying to succeed to do it.
I mean, that's true. That's awesome. And I think when you do that, other things also come out of that because people see, like, I mean, people ask us in certain businesses, like, well, how many competitors do you have? Like, thousands.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think's different between what you do and they do? I don't know, but whatever I tell you I'm going to do it.
Yeah. Right.
So I don't have to worry about the 18 things on a PowerPoint
Right.
that
Yeah.
someone did a good job with AI writing it.
Yeah.
If I tell you I'm going to do it,
Yeah.
I'm going to do it.
Right,
Right. We're
right.
going to do a good job. And I think, that's awesome. Our business in another world, which is really not related to this, but people ask you, how have you guys been around 25 years? I'm saying partnerships.
Yeah.
Like strong partnerships,
Right.
like stuff we know we're not good at or we can't do. We engage these people, and then without them,
Definitely.
it
Yeah.
may not be shit.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. That's definitely true. Yeah. The people around you and you build your team with, I mean, definitely will make or break you, and you can't do it alone.
No.
Most times, like especially in this business, it's like you have to know people and talk to people and have a relationship with people. And, it's an important thing.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're like I said, I'm pretty good at reading people, and you're just your whole demeanor and what you're doing and your music and your family life. I can tell you're very close to your family,
Yeah.
which to me, our whole thing is family, friends, and loyal motherfuckers. I mean, that's
Yeah.
that's our line.
I like
that's
that.
what we want.
Yeah, I like
family,
that.
friends, and loyal motherfuckers, and that's kind of our I don't know, mantra or whatever, ethos. But we've been very blessed. And,
Yeah.
like whatever we can do to help you. I like you as a human being, and you're a damn awesome singer. Which audience, you're going to get to see that separate from this. But so where would you tell people out there, like, where's some good places for them to go listen to you if they've never listened to your webpage or anything, so we can get that out there?
Any streaming platform, the big Pandora, Spotify, iHeart, YouTube.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm on all of them. And then, like, I have my Facebook page that I'll put stuff up on, like acoustic stuff I do at home or something, or if I write a new song, or that's at Zach Haines Country with the number 1.
Okay.
My first one, Facebook decided to take down for whatever reason, so I had to rebuild. But yeah,
Zach Haines Country number 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. They can find and follow me there and see if if I'm going to be in their area or whatever. And so.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. So also, like, are you posting like where you're going to be and
On my website,
on Instagram and stuff?
Yeah, my website's at ZachHainesCountry.com and not at Zach Haines, ZachHainesCountry.com.
Yeah.
I'm not a tech guy.
Yeah, that's all right. Neither am I. I fooled everybody for a long time.
Hey, I'll say stuff, and my son's like, "Dad, that's not how it works."
Yeah.
But ZachHainesCountry.com, and I got a calendar on there that I'll put stuff on there, or like that week I'll make a post on social media saying like a couple shows and then tag the place or whatever.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna do a little gig on our new app coming out. Band Groupies comes out September 15th. It's gonna help things like with what you're doing on keeping people posted on where you're at and venues you're playing at.
I'm excited for that.
So I'm gonna call back on you and say, hey Zach,
Yeah.
give this a try for us. Let us know.
I'm pumped about it, man. I think it's gonna be awesome.
It's going to be good.
really cool,
I'd like
y'all.
to do some fun stuff, man.
Yeah.
I really would. I think we can. I mean, we're trying to build a community of people. Like we were talking, we've got athletes in our stuff. We want to do musicians. We really we want a good community for that attitude. Just like you said, hey man, everybody wins.
Yeah, yeah.
And
that's what I mean. Stuff like this, like guys like me, really appreciate this. An avenue to be able to be heard and be seen, and just kind of feel like what you're doing is doing.
It does matter, dude.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I literally country's part of everybody. I don't care where you are. I don't care if you're up northeast. Someone's listening to country. I mean, country's such a part of the kind of the American bloodline. And I mean, and nowadays I don't want to knock new country or whatever, but I just I like when people I want someone genuine to me.
Yeah.
Regardless. It's like all these ladies out here that want a dude that's 6'10", makes $1 million and whatever. It's not real statistically. So quit being an asshole. Don't make a guy shave his beard. So,
Yeah. You don't want to do that.
Don't
You want a genuine person that's.
Yeah, I'm not going back to the guy that cut my beard because he put a towel over my head and went at it.
Yeah.
He didn't like it, I guess.
Yeah. I'd have a hard time walking back in there. Yeah.
I'll forget the guy. He didn't speak English, so it's all right. He didn't know what the hell I was saying. He didn't know what I was saying. But, man, I really appreciate you being on the podcast.
I appreciate it. Yeah, this has been great. Y'all are awesome.
Thank you. We feel the same, man. We want to grow together and build a community together, and we're going to do that. Any last thing you want to tell anybody, your wife, your son, your fans?
I mean, hey Chantel and Dominic, hope y'all are doing good. Give a shout out to my my band, Jimmy, Eric, and Anthony. Like I'd love to have them on sometime or something.
Yeah, I'd love
maybe
to.
down the road or something. But they're a bunch of characters too.
Yeah, let's get a show together. I mean,
Yeah.
I think we've got enough partners in this now that I think we could probably do a pretty good salty like Bandalooza or Palooza type thing where we could get a bunch of, it'd be a mix of country, rock, jazz, whatever. It'd
That'd
be
be
like a
badass.
cool venue for people to come and do it.
That'd be awesome. Yeah, something like that.
So that may be coming.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Dude, I really appreciate you having on.
Yeah,
You're
you.
awesome. So check out Zach Haines, guys. Country singer, good human being, American. The guy's awesome. We're a big fan of him. So until next week, let's go.
You can break my back, you can bust my bones, and I still ain't coming home. You're out of luck, 'cause now I'm on the road. You can send me money, you can kiss my ass. There ain't nothing that changes the past. You're just mad, 'cause I'm the one that's grown. And I ain't coming back home. No, I ain't coming back home. You can call my mama, you can tell my dad. You're just desperate, I'm the best you had. Grasping for straws, 'cause now you're all alone. You can burn our house, you can trash my name. There ain't nothing that brings me shame. Cold hard truth, 'cause now I'm on my own. And I ain't coming back home. No, I ain't coming back. Oh, no, no. Well, home ain't the same since you blew out this flame. You pushed me out in the thunder and rain. You want me back 'cause you're all alone, but you done turned this heart to stone. And I ain't coming back home. No, I ain't coming back home. No, I ain't coming back home. Yes, sir. Thank you.